Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Dino's Kitchen. So imagine this scenario. You are at home with your wife or with your other half and you are fancy to do, like more of a romantic kind of night. Turn on the fire. One of the best things you can have is this pasta. You're gonna make your wife very happy. So before we start the video, if you can please like, subscribe, turn on the bell, come with me. Facciamolo. First thing of the recipe obviously is autumn.
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 With an M.
Come an M. Let's talk about something else here, because otherwise I'm gonna get divorced. Butternut squash. Easy. Remove the bottom and the top part and carefully slice the skin. We can cut our butternut squash in half. At the very bottom we have got what we need to remove basically. We need a spoon. The morning pineapple. With the top parts, we're gonna create a nice dice. We're gonna roast them off in a second. With the bottom parts, we can roughly cut that up because we need to puree this butternut squash. With those chunks, we're gonna just place them in cold water, just bringing up to the boil and keep going. We really want them very, very soft. While the squash is cooking, we're gonna start with mushrooms. Just go half and half again. Questa si chiama cucina assettata. That's why Italian food is good, because we do everything relaxed. Even the food cooked sat on a chair. Slice them in half, half again, so in quarters. Okay? 2 plus 2 is 4. Quick math. If you live in Italy, you're very lucky, because you have got Italian sausage. Italian sausage is the best. We just need the inside of the sausage, so we're gonna slightly score the outside, remove the skin.
Do they not put the intestines on these?
Ma che intestini? Queste sono carta da cucina bagnata. Che dice l'intestino dell'animale non fa bene. Hanno campato generazioni e generazioni prima di noi. C'è proprio porco cacao e si faceva una marena con Nutella, no? Napoletano si dice una frangati piscitelli cannucci. Hola pu! At this stage we can check our butternut squash are very soft. Obviously I can just break that with my finger. We need to drain the water and we're gonna keep the water, very important. We're gonna get a nice tall glass, our soft butternut squash into it, a touch of water. A drizzle of olive oil, extra virgin. Snap a little bit of rosemary. We have got a phenomenal, super smooth and creamy rosemary butternut squash puree. A nice pan, very high temperature. Our sausages into small bits. Just like that with your hands, don't worry my friend. Nice and crispy, releasing as much fat as possible. Then you have a nice bite of sausage in your mouth when you eat the pasta and everything. Why you laugh? You see the crispy bits at the bottom? Mm-hmm. This is the flavor. People wash the pan sometimes, you don't need to wash. Trust me. You remember the pumpkin water? We're gonna use that just a little bit to deglaze our pan. So all the flavors from the pan are gonna go into the sausage again. Now, we wanna keep the fat into the pan. So we're gonna drain as much as possible and we're just gonna keep our sausages out. Add a splash of extra virgin olive oil. We don't wanna go too high with the heat to begin with. So we're gonna put that on a medium-low heat. And before the oil gets too hot, we're gonna add our butternut squash. Ma rovesciagna rusata, rusa, guarda rasa, look, our onion nice and soft, nice translucent and semi-roasted butternut squash. Tomato, salsa, mamma mia, salsa stava. Not too much, yeah? Roast them off like that and release all the juices. Our pumpkin juice. We're gonna add that in. Well, our cherry tomatoes to create a lovely sauce. Mamma mia, guarda. Ciucci, ciucci. We can easily remove our rosemary stems. All our water is being reduced. Cherry tomatoes are nice and soft. The butternut squash is nice and soft as well, as you can see. Turn the sauce off. We can add our lovely sausages. All the flavors get combined together. We need the mushroom now. Mushroom goes in dry pan, the oil, little bit of salt, and then our garlic. Touch more oil. Rosemary. Mamma mia, non dato manco cazzo, che chi se sa cazzo fa. If you go in Naples, in my hometown, the rosemary, you can smell rosemary plants like miles away. Allora cazzo vai. Look how they are singing in the pan like Pavarotti. At this stage, you keep going, and what you do, you add some butter into it. Salted, unsalted, mixed. At this stage, remove the rosemary. We have got plenty of rosemary flavor into it, but most important, remove the garlic as well. You don't want to forget the garlic. Mushrooms are nice, golden, toasted, roasted. We're gonna grab our mix of ingredients and we're gonna go inside. Look at that. Mamma mia. Turn off completely at this stage. We can mix all together. We can place that on a side to cool down. Water is up to boil. It's time to add our salt. Earlier on, I made some lovely fresh pappardelle pasta. If you wanna see how I made them, I will put a link of our video on how to make fresh pasta. They go into the water. They only take 3 to 4 minutes, 5 minutes maximum. Add a few spoons of our butternut squash puree. Mix that together so it creates a nice, lovely sauce. In Dino's kitchen, what we usually do when the pasta is almost ready, we turn off everything and we leave the pasta to rest and relax a little bit. Don't want stress pasta. Eh? We want to grab our sauce, bring that up to heat again. And now it's time to add our pasta. And don't be shy to add the pasta water because that is the secret on how to make creamy pastas. There we go. To avoid the pasta breaking up too much, it's best if you don't really touch the pasta, but you just toss the pasta into the sauce like that. In that way, the pasta won't break. But because we like chuch, we add all the puree into it. It doesn't matter what pasta shape, what kind of pasta, or what sauce you use. This is the noise you wanna hear. Turn off the heat completely. A nice knob of butter, sprinkled of fresh rosemary, a little bit of parmesan. There we go, look how creamy is that. Let's do a nice pappardelle bite. già combinato, fra. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next recipe. Thank you very much. Ciao bello. Is this you? With all the leftover pasta in the cupboard and some peas in the freezer. If this is you, let's make a one pot pasta. Pasta e piselli. Facciamo. Let's dice some onion. Now let's add an Italian twist. I'm gonna use some Parma ham. You can use bacon, guanciale, pancetta. We're gonna save a few slices for the garnish and we're gonna use the rest for the pasta. Buona, ma non è che ha tagliato il suo coso. Slice in half, slice half again. That's what we want. Start with Parma ham, medium-low heat. Bongo solo! We wanna sweat the Parma ham off for a few minutes. Now we can go with the onion. At this stage, we can go with the peas. As you can see, I didn't add any salt because the Parma ham is already quite salty. I will add salt at the end. After a few minutes, we can go with water. We want to add enough water to cover all the peas and leave roughly a finger worth of water. Leave to boil for 5 to 10 minutes. In the meanwhile, grab whatever you have left over in the cupboard. Roughly we are looking about 300 grams of pasta. Mannaggia. Try to break the pasta in the bowl. I'll share with you a little secret about this pasta. We're gonna create a mix of egg and parmesan that will help to create a very nice cream. I'm gonna need a bowl, some good parmesan, and grate the shit out of it. Il miglior formaggio al mondo. 2 eggs. We can set that aside. Our stock is boiling. We can taste and decide if we need more salt or not. Definitely need a little bit of salt. Before we add the pasta, we're gonna get a few peas out and transform them into a cream. Get the onion, the parma, get everything into it, trust me. Lower the temperature a little bit and we can add the pasta. The pasta will cook for roughly 8 to 10 minutes. Let's take care about the pea cream. Touch of olive oil, few leaves of basil, our pea cream is ready. We're gonna grab the Parma ham that we saved before, chuck in the oven at 180 degrees for about 5 to 6 minutes. That's the result. Cool it down and we're gonna use as a garnish. When we reach this kind of consistency, turn it off, go with the pea cream. According to my cameraman, camerawoman,
Thank you.
that is the best pasta you can pick. The reason why is because he scoop all the chuch and the peas and the pasta and everything inside. Is a chuch scoop. We can then go with our egg mix. The reason why I've put the egg mix at the very end is because if the temperature is too hot, we're gonna just make a scrambled egg pasta.
Yummy.
That's the sound you want. Let's put some basil into it. Little touch of olive oil. We will leave that to rest for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, that's the consistency that we are looking for. But most important, the sound, baby. Chi se bello vi attivasse così il belli? Creamy and crispy.
Oh my god!
My friend, I got bad. I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And see you soon. Mamma. In UK, finally arrived the summer. There is nothing better to have a nice plate of tuna pasta. And if you want to learn how to make it, facciamo. First step of the recipe, we need to chop our onions. I decided to go with a white and a red. I'm literally crying right now. They go in a cold pan with a nice drizzle of olive oil, pinch of salt, medium-high heat. We wanna really sweat off our onions until they are super soft. While the onions are cooking, chuck some basil stems into it, just to release a little bit of basil flavor.
Eventually,
To speed up the process a little bit, we can add a little bit of water. When the water is in, we can turn the temperature to high heat. When the onions are pretty much fully cooked, we're gonna add loads of water. Add about half liter of water, bring up to the boil and let it reduce for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, it's time to add the pasta straight into the pan. Cooking the pasta in that way, it will let the pasta to absorb all the flavor of the stock, and it will also release all the starch into the sauce.
3:28 a.m.
As you can see before, it used to look like a soup. Now it still looks like a soup, but a bit more dense, because it's due to the starch of the pasta that is acting into the stock. We literally have got water, onion and pasta. Where is the tuna? We want to preserve the flavors by adding at the very last, when we're gonna finish off our pasta with the rest of the ingredients. It's very important. Cream. Cream with no cream. That should be the name of our channel. Cream but no cream. Let's taste again. Gonna add a little bit of salt, a little bit black pepper. At this stage, we're gonna turn off completely the temperature, and it's just now that we're gonna add our tuna. Don't be stingy, put some tuna in there. Then literally let the basil rain into the pot like there is no tomorrow. Loads and loads of lemon zest. Make sure you get just the yellow. Why, looks like we are in Sorrento. We still don't have any heat on the pan. We can mix all together. and the tuna, it will break up into the pasta automatically. Dino's Kitchen da fa vedere come si fa, frate. Creamy. A little bit more of black pepper, a little bit more of basil, nice drizzle of olive oil, and another touch of lemon zest. Not too much, eh? And there we go. Now it's time to taste. Let's check the pasta noise again. That's what you want, bello. You need ciucci in life. Mamma mia, po' buono. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what other pasta recipes you would like to see, and I'll make it for you. And stay tuned.